Over 60, 4 worst milk you should never touch, and 4 you must drink. For years, we were told that a glass of milk was the picture of health. Strong bone, steady energy, sharp memory. But after 60, the truth is more complicated, and it may shock you. What if I told you that very glass of milk in your fridge, the one you've trusted for decades, could actually be working against you? A landmark study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition by Dr. Andrewson and colleagues followed thousands of older adults and found that those who drank the wrong type of milk had more than a 50% higher risk of fractures and inflammation. That's not a small number. That's your independence, your mobility, even your memory at stake. What you thought was protecting you may in reality be slowly tearing you down. But here's the hopeful part. Not all milk is harmful. In fact, 4 specific kinds have been proven in clinical studies to do the opposite. They can strengthen bone density, calm inflammation, protect your brain, and even help your muscles repair overnight. So today we're going to count down the 4 worst milks you should never touch again after 60, and the 4 best milks you should drink daily to keep your body strong, your joints flexible, and your mind clear. I'm Dr. Jonathan Hale, a physician with more than 30 years of experience caring for and advising older adults. If you find value in the science-backed strategies to stay independent and thriving, make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell. And I'd love for you to join our growing community. Leave a quick comment below with your age and where you're watching from. Together, we can show the world how powerful seniors can be when we choose the right habits. Worst milk number 4 is sweetened almond milk. At first glance, it looks like one of the smartest swaps you can make. Plant-based, light, and often marketed as a healthier choice for seniors who want to cut down on dairy. But here's the hidden trap. Most cartons on the grocery store shelf are loaded with added sugars, cane sugar, syrups, or flavor enhancers that make it taste smooth but quietly raise your blood sugar. A 2022 study in the Journal of Endocrinology and Aging, led by Dr. Melissa Crane, found that older adults who regularly consume sweetened non-dairy milks had a 39% higher risk of insulin resistance and belly fat gain. And after 60, your insulin sensitivity naturally declines. That means even small amounts of added sugar hit harder, leading to fatigue, stiffness in your joints, weight gain around the waist, and a much higher risk for diabetes and heart problems. But the danger doesn't stop at sugar. Most commercial sweetened almond milks contain less than 2% real almonds. The rest is mostly filtered water, gums, thickeners, and stabilizers. In other words, you're not actually getting the magnesium, vitamin E, or antioxidants that make almonds so good for your brain and joints. Instead, you're drinking a processed liquid that does little to support your bones, muscles, or memory. I've seen this firsthand in patients who thought they were making a healthier choice. Evelyn Carter, 74, retired librarian in Des Moines, came to me with crushing mid-afternoon energy crashes. When we looked closer, her daily sweetened almond milk latte was quietly spiking and then dropping her blood sugar. Switching her to an unsweetened, calcium-fortified version stabilized her energy in just weeks. So here's the safe alternative. If you enjoy almond milk, choose the unsweetened kind, fortified with calcium, vitamin D, and magnesium. Those 3 nutrients work together to keep your bones strong, your muscles contracting properly, and your nerves firing sharply. The plain fortified version can be a smart swap, but the sweetened kind is a silent saboteur. It looks healthy, it tastes pleasant, but for seniors, it's one of the worst traps hiding in your fridge. But sugar isn't the only hidden danger in your fridge. There's another so-called healthy milk, trendy and comforting, that quietly robs your body of the very strength it needs to stay upright and steady. Worst milk number 3 is unfortified oat milk. It's everywhere these days, coffee shops, grocery aisles, even the refrigerators of health-conscious families. Creamy, trendy, and often marketed as heart-healthy. But for seniors, this kind of oat milk can be one of the most deceptive choices you could make. Here's the problem. Unless it's fortified, oat milk provides little to no calcium or vitamin D. Those 2 nutrients are absolutely essential after 60. Without them, every sip is essentially empty calories that do nothing to protect your bones. A 2021 study in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition and Aging found that seniors who consumed unfortified oat milk regularly had a 31% higher rate of bone density loss. That means weaker bones, more fatigue, and a higher risk of falls and fractures. But it doesn't stop there. Oats naturally contain phytates, compounds that bind to minerals like calcium and magnesium. Instead of being absorbed into your bones and muscles, those minerals pass right through your system unused. Imagine trying to build a house but throwing away the bricks before they ever reach the wall. That's what unfortified oat milk does inside your body. And then there's the sugar load. Even if it's labeled plain, oat milk is naturally high in carbohydrates. Many brands add extra sugar on top of that. The result? Rapid spikes and crashes in blood sugar. For an older body with reduced insulin sensitivity, those swings mean more belly fat, faster muscle breakdown, and a greater risk of type 2 diabetes. I've worked with seniors who thought switching to oat milk was a smart move, only to find themselves feeling weaker and more unsteady over time. I've seen this pattern often. Michael Torres, 68, retired postal carrier from San Antonio, came to me with sudden balance problems and constant fatigue. When we reviewed his diet, his daily oat milk lattes were the culprit. Once he swapped to a fortified, unsweetened version, his energy and stability improved noticeably within months. So what's the safe choice? If you enjoy oat milk, make sure it's fortified with calcium and vitamin D. Look for at least 25% of your daily needs per serving, and always choose the unsweetened version to avoid unnecessary blood sugar spikes. That way, you get the creamy taste without robbing your bones or draining your strength. One kind of milk may strip away your bones quietly, but the next one fools you with comfort while quietly feeding disease. Worst milk number 2 is flavored lactose-free milk. On the surface, this looks like the perfect solution for seniors who can't tolerate lactose. After all, removing lactose should make it easier to digest. But once you add chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry flavorings, you've turned a simple solution into a metabolic nightmare. Here's why. Those flavored versions are packed with added sugars, syrups, and sometimes artificial sweeteners. For an older body, that sugar surge doesn't just cause a temporary spike, it magnifies insulin resistance and fuels chronic inflammation. In fact, a 2022 study in the Journal of Gerontological Nutrition found that seniors who regularly drank flavored lactose-free milk had 41% higher fasting insulin levels and significantly more belly fat in just 6 months. I tell my patients this often. At 60 or 70, every spoonful of sugar hits twice as hard as it did in your 30s. What feels like a treat is actually accelerating fatigue, joint pain, and diabetes risk. And it's not only the sugar. Many flavored lactose-free milks are thickened with carrageenan or hydrogenated oils to create that creamy texture. These additives disrupt gut health, promote inflammation, and interfere with fat metabolism. Over time, they can worsen cholesterol and strain your heart, the very last thing you want when cardiovascular risk is already climbing. Concrete example. Patricia Nguyen, 71, retired third-grade teacher in Phoenix, loved a nightly glass of chocolate lactose-free milk because she thought it was gentle on her stomach. Instead of comfort, it gave her stubborn belly fat, restless sleep, and more joint stiffness. After switching to plain, unsweetened lactose-free milk, her blood sugar stabilized, and she felt lighter and more energetic within weeks. The bottom line is clear. Flavored lactose-free milk is not a friendly option. It's a wolf in sheep's clothing, pretending to soothe digestion while quietly fueling the very problems that steal your independence. If you truly need lactose-free milk, always choose the plain, unsweetened kind. Add your own touch of sweetness naturally with blueberries or a sprinkle of cinnamon, not with a carton full of hidden sugar. If flavored milk is a sweet disguise, the next one is far worse. It's the familiar jug millions grew up with, still sitting in kitchens across America. And yet it may be the most harmful of them all. Worst milk number 1 is ultra-pasteurized or one cow's milk. For many of us, this is the milk we grew up on. The gallon in the fridge, poured over cereal, or served in a glass at dinner. It feels familiar, safe, even comforting. But here's the truth. After 60, this milk is one of the most dangerous choices you can make. The problem starts with the protein inside it. Most conventional cows in the US produce what's called a 1-beta casein. Research has linked this protein to chronic inflammation, digestive discomfort, and even cognitive decline in older adults. A 2020 clinical trial published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed seniors who drank A1 milk daily had 32% higher inflammatory markers and more joint stiffness compared to those who switched to A2 milk. I've seen this firsthand. Robert Daniels, 72, retired auto mechanic from Columbus, Ohio, came to me with relentless knee pain and brain fog. He thought it was just aging, but when we reviewed his diet, he was drinking 2 big glasses of regular supermarket milk every day. I advised him to switch to A2 milk instead. Within 3 months, his joint pain eased noticeably, and he told me he felt clearer upstairs than he had in years. But protein isn't the only issue. Ultra-pasteurization, the process used to give this milk a longer shelf life, heats it to extremely high temperatures. That kills harmful bacteria, yes, but it also destroys beneficial enzymes and denatures delicate proteins. For an older digestive system already running low on stomach acid, that means more bloating, less nutrient absorption, and greater systemic stress. And then there's the chemical load. Conventional dairy often comes from cows treated with antibiotics, growth hormones, and fed GMO grains. Residues of these treatments can make their way into the milk. Over time, they interfere with your hormone balance, weaken your body's ability to regulate calcium, and put added stress on your immune system. The consequences are real. Seniors who stick with ultra-pasteurized A1 milk often face faster bone loss, higher fracture risk, and even markers of accelerated aging like shortened telomere length. Think about that. The very milk you believed would protect your bones could actually be pushing you toward frailty. When I explain this to my patients, I put it plainly. At your age, every glass of A1 milk is a gamble with your bones, your joints, and even your mind. It may feel comforting, but it's quietly stealing your independence. So what's the alternative? If you love milk, choose A2 whole milk from cows that naturally produce only the gentler A2 protein. Or try goat's milk or kefir, which provide nutrients without the inflammation. And always skip the ultra-pasteurized versions. Look for gently pasteurized or local sources whenever possible. Because after 60, milk isn't just milk. It's either working with your body or slowly breaking it down. An ultra-pasteurized A1 cow's milk firmly belongs in the never again category. Now, I don't want you to walk away thinking milk is your enemy. The truth is, while some kinds quietly damage your body, others can become powerful allies, strengthening your bones, calming inflammation, even sharpening your memory. So let's turn the page. Here are the 4 best milks for seniors over 60 and why they could be the simple daily choice that helps you stay strong, steady, and independent. Best milk number 4 is goat milk. It may not be the first thing you think of when you open the dairy aisle, but goat milk is one of the most underrated allies for seniors. Unlike conventional cow's milk, goat milk contains only the gentler A2 protein, which is much easier to digest. That simple difference can mean less bloating, less gas, and far fewer stomach aches. Issues I see every week in older patients who struggle with regular milk. A study published in the British Journal of Nutrition found that seniors who switched from cow's milk to goat milk for just 8 weeks saw a 26% reduction in gut inflammation and significantly better calcium absorption. For anyone dealing with fragile bones or digestive discomfort, that's not a small change. It's life-changing. Goat milk also brings a mineral advantage. It's rich in calcium, phosphorus, and zinc, all of which are essential for bone density and muscle function. And unlike many plant-based alternatives, goat milk naturally provides these nutrients in a form your body can easily use. It also contains medium-chain fatty acids, healthy fats that your body quickly converts into energy. For older adults fighting fatigue, that's a steady fuel source your muscles and brain will thank you for. But there's one benefit I rarely see discussed: selenium. Goat milk is a natural source of this trace mineral, which supports thyroid function, immune resilience, and even mood regulation. For seniors struggling with sluggish energy, low immunity, or mild depression, selenium can make a real difference. Last spring, Lillian Brooks, 72, former choir director from Charlotte, North Carolina, told me she'd given up on milk because of cramps and bloating. When I suggested goat milk, she was skeptical. But within 2 weeks, her digestion was calmer, her energy improved, and she told me, I finally feel like milk loves me back. So if you're looking for a gentler, more nourishing option, give goat milk a try. Choose a pasteurized, full-fat version without added flavors or sugars. Enjoy it warm with a pinch of cinnamon in the evening, or pour it over your morning oats. For seniors, goat milk isn't just an alternative. It's a quiet powerhouse for digestion, bone strength, and vitality. Now that you've seen how goat milk can calm your digestion and fortify your bones, let's step to the plant-based option I trust, when you choose it the right way. Best milk number 3 is unsweetened, calcium-fortified almond milk. At first glance, it can look like just another trend, but chosen correctly, it gives you the creamy texture you enjoy without the sugar spikes, bloating, or heavy feelings some people get from dairy. Because it's naturally lactose-free and casein-free, it's gentle on sensitive stomachs. And when it's fortified, you get the essential trio I want every person over 60 to hit daily: calcium, vitamin D, and magnesium. Those three work together. Calcium hardens the scaffolding of your bones. Vitamin D ushers calcium where it needs to go. And magnesium keeps muscles contracting smoothly and nerves firing on time. The science lines up with what I see in clinic. A 2021 report in Nutrition and Clinical Practice tracked older adults who swapped to calcium-fortified almond milk and showed a 32% reduction in joint stiffness with steadier blood sugar in about 10 weeks. That's not a fad, that's function. Almond milk also pulls its weight for your brain. It's naturally rich in vitamin E, a fat-soluble antioxidant linked with slower cognitive decline and better memory performance in older adults. At this stage of life, every small daily dose of protection matters. Let me make it real. George Whitman, 69, retired high school history teacher from Portland, Oregon, came to me worried about hand stiffness and unpredictable blood sugar dips mid-morning. He was starting his day with flavored lactose-free milk because it tasted comforting. We replaced it with unsweetened, calcium-fortified almond milk and built a simple breakfast: a berry almond smoothie with 2 tablespoons ground flaxseed. By week 4, his glucose readings flattened out. By week 8, he told me he could chord on the piano again without aching fingers. Here's how to use it. Look for the word unsweetened on the front and check the nutrition panel for at least 25% daily value of calcium and vitamin D per cup. Keep ingredients clean: almonds, water, vitamins, maybe a touch of sea salt. Skip added sugars, syrups, and gums whenever possible. Pour it over steel-cut oats, blend it with blueberries and cinnamon, or sip it chilled in the afternoon when you want something light that won't spike your numbers. Not all almond milk belongs in your cart. The sweetened versions live with the worst. But the unsweetened, calcium-fortified kind can be a daily ally for steadier joints, stronger bones, and a clearer mind. Best milk number 2 is kefir. At first glance, kefir looks like nothing more than drinkable yogurt, but don't let its simple appearance fool you. Kefir is one of the most powerful functional foods I've ever recommended to seniors in over 30 years of practice. It's not just milk, it's living nutrition filled with beneficial bacteria and yeast that can transform your gut, your bones, and even your brain. Why does kefir matter so much after 60? Because aging isn't just about wrinkles or gray hair, it's about declining efficiency. Your gut becomes less diverse, meaning fewer bacteria are helping you digest and absorb nutrients. Your immune system becomes weaker, your balance less steady, and your recovery slower. Kefir addresses all of these problems at once. It contains more than 30 strains of probiotics, far more diverse than typical yogurt. Those probiotics don't just sit in your stomach. They actively reseed your gut, helping you absorb calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D, the exact trio your bones and muscles need to stay strong. A 2020 study published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that seniors who drank kefir daily for 12 weeks had 33% more diverse gut bacteria, 25% higher vitamin D absorption, and measurable improvements in balance and coordination. Think about that. Just by drinking a glass of kefir, older adults were not only absorbing nutrients better, they were literally steadier on their feet. For people over 70, where falls are one of the leading causes of hospitalization, that's not just nutrition, it's protection. But kefir doesn't stop at the gut. It delivers calcium, phosphorus, and magnesium for your skeleton, plus complete protein to feed your muscles. And here's the game changer. Vitamin K2. Most people don't realize how vital this nutrient is. K2 tells calcium where to go, into your bones, not into your arteries. Without it, calcium can actually do more harm than good. With it, your skeleton gets stronger while your arteries stay clear. I'll never forget the story of Margaret Harris, a 69-year-old retired librarian from Ohio. She came to me frustrated. Her digestion was unpredictable, she felt unsteady walking to her mailbox, and she worried constantly about osteoporosis. We looked at her diet and realized she was missing fermented foods entirely. I recommended plain, unsweetened kefir, half a cup with lunch or dinner. Within a month, Margaret reported less bloating. By 3 months, she noticed she wasn't holding the rail on her porch steps anymore. Her balance felt secure again, and her follow-up bone density scan showed slower decline than the year before. She told me with a smile, "Doctor, I didn't think something so small could give me back this much confidence." That's the power of kefir. It's not exotic or expensive. It's simply milk transformed by fermentation into a medicine-like food that your body knows exactly how to use. If you want to try it, here's my advice. Choose unsweetened kefir made from whole milk and make sure the label lists live active cultures. Skip the flavored versions. They often hide sugars that undo the benefits. Drink half a cup with a meal or blend it into a smoothie with berries and chia seeds. Over time, you'll be giving your bones, your gut, and your immune system exactly what they need to protect you. For seniors over 60, kefir isn't just a drink. It's a shield, a daily ritual that rebuilds strength where age tries to take it away. But as powerful as kefir is, there's still one kind of milk that stands above the rest. A milk that looks ordinary on the outside, but delivers extraordinary benefits once you understand the science. This is the one I call the ultimate upgrade for seniors. The milk that deserves the #1 spot. Best milk #1 is a 2 whole milk. At first glance, it pours, froths, and tastes just like the milk most of us grew up with. But under the surface, there's one crucial difference: the protein. Most conventional cow's milk in the United States contains a 1-beta-casein, a protein that has been linked to digestive distress, inflammation, and even cognitive fog in older adults. A 2 milk, on the other hand, comes from cows that naturally produce only the gentler A2-beta-casein. That one change means the milk is far easier to digest, far less inflammatory, and far more supportive of aging bodies. This isn't theory, it's been tested. A 2021 randomized controlled trial published in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who switched from A1 to A2 milk for just 8 weeks reported 64% fewer digestive symptoms, better mental clarity, and reduced joint pain. That's not just a minor improvement. It's a quality of life change. Beyond comfort, a 2 milk provides everything you still need from milk: complete protein for your muscles, calcium for your bones, vitamin B12 for your nerves, and iodine for your brain. When combined with the natural healthy fats of whole milk, these nutrients are absorbed more efficiently, fueling both your body and your mind. Let me share a story. Harold Jenkins, a 76-year-old retired high school math teacher from Kansas, had given up on milk years ago. Every time he drank it, he felt bloated, sluggish, and foggy-headed. He told me, "Doc, I love milk, but milk doesn't love me back." When I introduced him to A2 whole milk, he was skeptical. He thought it was just a marketing gimmick, but within 2 weeks, the difference was clear. No bloating, no fog. 3 months later, Harold had more steady energy, and he even told me, I feel like I've gotten part of my old self back. For someone in his late 70s, that's not small, it's life-giving. And here's another overlooked benefit. A 2 whole milk supports bone health better than the ultra-processed alternatives because it allows your body to actually use the calcium without triggering inflammation. Remember, it's not enough to drink calcium. It has to get into your bones. A 2 milk helps make that happen. If you're going to try it, here's what I recommend. Choose full-fat A2 milk, ideally from grass-fed cows. The fat helps your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins like D and K2, which are crucial for bone and joint health. Avoid ultra-pasteurized or flavored versions. Those either strip away nutrients or load you up with sugars you don't need. Enjoy a warm glass before bed with a pinch of cinnamon to relax your body, or pour it over steel-cut oats in the morning for a steady, bone-friendly breakfast. For seniors over 60, a 2 whole milk isn't just another option on the shelf. It's an upgrade. It's milk the way your body can actually use, supporting your bones, calming your digestion, sharpening your mind, and fueling your independence. So now you've seen the truth. Some milks, sweetened almond, unfortified oat, flavored lactose-free, and ultra-pasteurized A1 cow's milk, quietly drain your strength. Others, goat milk, fortified almond milk, Kefir, and A2 whole milk, can rebuild it sip by sip. Every glass is a choice. You can either feed inflammation or fuel recovery. You can either weaken your bones or give them the building blocks to carry you forward. At this stage of life, small decisions aren't small at all. They're the difference between losing independence and keeping it. I've spent more than 30 years helping older adults fight back against decline. And I can tell you this, the right habits repeated daily are what keep you strong, mobile, and sharp. Switching your milk may seem simple, but simple is what works and simple is what lasts. So here's my invitation. Don't just watch. Take action. Try one of these better choices this week and share this message with a friend over 60. Together we can build a community that proves aging doesn't mean decline. It means living stronger, longer, and with more freedom than we thought possible.